Hi everybody, I'm Ali. I'm from Southern Ontario in Canada, and I am not a blue on both Instagram and Ravelry. And I thought I'd share some of my knitting with some of my community that's out there in the internet world. So first of all, as a bit of a background on me, I am definitely multi-craftual and I'm very much a fiber enthusiast. I've been knitting for most of my life. I learned as a young girl from both my mother and my grandmother. But then I've also followed other fiber pursuits over the years. So I crochet. I used to do quilting, but don't really anymore. I've done cross stitch and other embroidery. I've done both acid dyeing and natural dyeing. And my biggest passion outside of knitting has been traditional rug hooking. So I've been doing traditional rug hooking for over 25 years and absolutely love it, and I've made a lot of rugs. So that's also something I'm probably going to share with you each time I do an episode, and show one of my rugs and one of my designs or a design of somebody else's that I've done, and just bring a little bit of that knowledge to this environment so that hopefully I can pass on and share the love of that particular fiber craft. Knitting's definitely become more of a passion of late. It's something I've come back and forth to over the years, and definitely though the last 5+ years I've been quite obsessed with knitting and really enjoying it, sharing it with other people by making projects, making gifts for other people, but also making a lot of my own clothing now, which I'm super enjoying. So I thought I'd just do an update today on things I've been working on and things I hope to work on and that sort of thing. So here we go. So the first project to share is this tee that I'm wearing, which is called Flow, Flow, by Trin Anel. And I knit this just recently, just finished it. And what it's made with is actually Illimani Sabri, which is the fingering weight. This is a 85% organic cotton and 15% baby alpaca yarn. It's absolutely beautiful to work with. It's soft and easy to work with. As a cotton, it's been a joy compared to some of the other cottons that are out there. It's actually been absolutely wonderful to work with. I look forward to working with it again. So I knit the size 4. I'm normally a size 3, but I wanted to make it roomier. I had a little bit of trouble partway through the yoke in that I turned my page onto the wrong part of the chart basically, and started working on a different size when I was partway through the yoke. Anyway, long story short, I just put it aside for a while, but I came back to it and just carried on, and I think it worked out fairly well. I might have some major mistakes, but I think things are not too bad. I'm certainly okay with it, and I'm just gonna carry on wearing it the way it is. I hope to actually one day make this pattern again, just to show you. It's garter at the bottom. After the yoke, you basically turn your project inside out and work the rest of the project inside out, doing stockinette so that you're not doing full purl the whole time. So that's really, honestly, it was a super fun project, well written pattern, and I would knit it on 3.25 millimeter for the body. The ribbing was on 2.5 millimeter needles. I always have to size down, or almost always have to size down, so that's probably smaller needles than what the pattern actually calls for. So that's usually with me. The pattern is that I've always got to size down my needles. So, and I just did right after the end of the yoke, I basically did nothing more, just went right into the ribbing. So certainly the arms could have been extended a little bit longer if wanted. So I am definitely hoping to knit this again actually in a long sleeve, because I think it's a really lovely pattern. It's something I really enjoyed. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So that is Flow by Trin Anel. The next project that I finished recently was actually a community service project. I saw a posting for an organization that works with grief counseling providing grief counseling and support to families and especially children in the community. And I thought that was a great thing to jump on board with. They actually were doing a call for makers to provide them with some items that they could hand out to people. So they sent some patterns over, and one of them is called the hug scarf. So this is it. So it starts out with a little hand and it goes to a wrist, and then it's just garter. And this is a Lion brand woolies, and you just do the two different ends, and then you graft them together in the middle. So it works out very quickly. I did two of these. This one was held double. This was two different yarns. You can see the green and the gray held together. And then I did a smaller one with just the green yarn. But this is actually not the weight that's called for. This was the medium weight yarn I had of the Woolies Lion brand, which is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I just had this handy, so I used up what I had, but the pattern actually calls for the Woolies in bulky, so I'm going to do some additional pieces for them in that. So I've done two of the scarves so far. I'll do some more, and they also have a pattern for cute little crocheted pocket hearts, which I'll just do up a bunch of those for them because that'll be very quick to do. And I'll get all those over to the library drop-off point. So excited to do a little bit of something that I love to be able to give back to the community. So that's been super fun. So half a done project, or who knows, depending on how many I make, maybe that's a third or a quarter. I don't know at this point how many more I'm going to be doing. We'll see how long the resources keep flowing here. So other stuff I've got going on, I have a vanilla sock that I just started up basically recently to do. I actually was starting an experiment with these new Acadia flexi flips. So and I just got this going because I'm going to be going on a vacation soon. So I just got that rolling, and I've stopped because I want to save it for when I'm on vacation, and that's a mess. I don't know what this yarn is because I wound it up a long time ago, and I do not know where the ball band is. I might find it eventually. I believe it is a indie dyed sock yarn, so I just don't remember whose indie dyed sock yarn it is. This is a nice bag I've got from Yellow Petal Handmade. She is located in the Maritime provinces of Canada. A beautiful inside fabric and a nice neutral outside with a very sturdy, fantastic zipper, like really excellent hardware with a nice hook and handle. She just makes absolutely beautiful items. Yellow Petal Handmade. If you're ever looking for bags, I have a couple of her sock bags actually, and they're absolutely gorgeous, beautifully made. Happy to support somebody that makes such amazing products, and it's a small business, woman-owned small business, I believe. So that is a project I've been working on. Just really got it started. Another sock I'm half done because I've got one sock done. This was a test knit. This is called the Cascade Sock. This is by Marie-Alice Dugal. And I've seen that I've got some lovely hand woven hair in there. This has been blocked, but I don't have a sock blocker, so it's maybe a little bit difficult. Now, I know this is wild and crazy colors, but there's a reason. Absolutely beautiful pattern. This is the right sock, so you can see the full pattern goes down the side of the leg, and then half of the pattern goes down the side of the foot. Really cool, innovative idea. And then this side is just ribbing. And so the left is opposite, so that your pattern is on the outside of both legs. So I need to do the left leg. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature in Wildflower 4-ply sock yarn. Wild and crazy. So the story is that I was moving. I moved a few weeks ago. And so as I was packing, I thought, well, I've got to leave myself out some yarn. I mean, let's be serious. I need more than what I'm just working on. Let's leave out some sock yarn. This is also Knitpicks Stroll in Hazy Violet, and that's not totally accurate color-wise. That's probably a little bit better. It's a little brighter than what it's showing up on camera. So I left those two out in case I got the urge to knit a sock, and then I signed up for a test knit with multi-craftual Dugal. So what ended up happening was this wild and crazy combination with a with a pattern. I wasn't thinking of using it with a pattern sock. So my apologies to multi-craftual for making a wild and crazy sample out of her gorgeous pattern. Hopefully you can see enough of the pattern. So this sock pattern is now for sale. It went out on Ravelry last week. And the absolutely amazing thing about this is all proceeds, I'm going to cry, all proceeds from this sock pattern sale are going to the Canadian Red Cross to help with wildfire relief efforts. What an amazing thing to do. What an amazing woman. So if you knit socks at all, support the cause and purchase this pattern if you can. It's so fun to knit, and it's you learn the pattern really quickly, so you're not having to glance back at it all the time to what am I doing next. You really learn the pattern quickly, and it comes together beautifully. I'm looking really forward to doing this, the second sock, and yes, this will be going to a wild and crazy friend. I can pull off wearing these. And I will be knitting this pattern again for sure in a maybe more tonal sock yarn to show off the pattern, because it was a pleasure to knit. She's a absolute gem of a human being, and I've test knit for her twice, and she's just incredible. So happy to have test knit for her, and I hope I have the honor of doing so again in the future. Anyway, enjoyed the pattern fully, and you will as well, I'm quite sure. So that's the Cascade Sock by Marie-Elise Dugal. So half done, got to do that other one soon. Got to get on that. The only reason it's not done, frankly, because I never actually put socks aside. The only reason it's not done is because of my move. That I moved about 2.5 weeks ago. I moved. So that's the only reason I have not done more, because of that. Normally I just, as soon as the first sock's done, I get into the second sock. Another recent project, and of course I'm like right in the middle of starting a new round. This I just started actually yesterday, and this is not going to come up. There we go. We'll just take that out. I had all this summer sock yarn. No, say it right. I had all this summer yarn. Most of this is Drops Cotton Light. There's a little bit of this is Drops Bell. So this is 50 cotton, 50 polyester, or is it 50 nylon? Polyester. 50 cotton, 50 polyester. So Drops Cotton Light. And I was going to do a t-shirt with it. And I started out a pattern. I won't show you. I'm going to pull it out. I just thought, I'm not wearing this. I'm not going to wear this. Just not going to wear this. So then I started just having some fun with it. It's obviously the ends are not woven in. And I think I'm going to make a bag out of this. So I'm just going to keep going and going and going. I have a lot of 2 of the colors, and I have little leftovers of the other 4 colors. So I'm going to just go as long as I can. As long as I've got all 6, I will keep going in the round as granny square. And then I will use the colors I have more of for the construction of a bag. She says with confidence that she shouldn't probably feel. Because have I done this before? No. Am I using a pattern? No. I'm hooking this with a 3.75 millimeter hook that I just happened to pick up and seemed to do the job. And does that even show the size? Well, you don't need to. 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. That's not focusing. So yeah, most of it is the Drops Cotton Light in various colors. which if anything at best, I might find the ball bands and be able to give you numbers, not actual color names. So there we go. So I'm just going to see where that goes. Going to play with it a little bit. Might take that on vacation as well because I just need to take the colors and a hook. And the thing that's beautiful about crochet is that if the hook falls out, it doesn't really matter. It's not like, obviously, with knitting, when you lose stitches and then you're picking up stitches in a panic. So another project that actually has been shelved for a while that I will share, I can only share part of it. I have this fairly massive, I'm going to hold it up now, fairly massive blanket that I crocheted basically all through the winter. I believe this is crochet moss stitch, is my understanding. I believe you can see what's left to do. All these ends need to be sewn in. Luckily, I don't actually mind doing that. So what I decided to do was I thought, you know, I need to use up all my leftover sock yarns. So a while ago, probably a good year ago, I got myself a whole bunch of Knitpicks Pallette fingering weight yarn in Finley Heather, it says. So what I did was I held this, I used 10 balls of this. That's how big this big this blanket is. So I held this double with leftover sock yarns. So basically holding 2 fingering weight, and just changed, basically used the sock yarn until it ran out, and picked up the next one, picked up the next one, picked up the next one. So I actually super duper enjoyed myself doing this. This is what I love about crochet, is the mindlessness of just rhythmic stitch, 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 and just doing the same thing. I really, really enjoy that, you know, when you need something mindless. And of course I was doing it in the winter. I had this on my lap, so that was added bonus. So I really, really love the mottled look of by holding the palette with it, it just blended everything because it's just that neutral color. It blended everything. I feel like it brought things together, and then you've just got hits of the, like the, you know, the reds and what have you kind of jump out. And anyway, so what needs to be done to this? Sew in all those ends. So will that happen this summer with a big blanket on my lap? Probably not. So that probably won't be finished. You won't see it again for a while. And I'll have to take pictures to really show the extent of it. I'm not quite sure how long it is, but I think it's probably, I'm just thinking about the last time I held it up. It's at least 6 feet long. It might be longer. So that was a really fun project. And it was so satisfying to use up all those little bits of sock yarn that are always hanging around after projects. I've probably knit 50, 60 or more pairs of socks in the last 5 years. I've lost track. So I don't have projects on Ravelry for anywhere near all of the socks that I have knit. So I had a lot of, you know, all those bits and pieces that you have left over, and I just wanted to use them all up because that's my personality. Use it up. I have one more ongoing project. I think I've had huge hesitation because I'm not sure if I'm right. This is this Sammal, don't know how to pronounce it, sorry, by Joji Locatelli. It's a lovely pattern for a cardigan. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to hold this up and twist it. Lovely cardigan pattern in fingering weight yarn. So I don't know why. I just love the texture somewhere. I don't know how and when or what happened, but I was scrolling through Ravelry and stumbled on this pattern and purchased it. So I love myself a good texture, love texture, and I thought a fingering weight cardigan in a neutral color is exactly what my life needs. I don't feel like I have enough cardigans, and the cardigans I have are not, well, I do have one that's neutral, but I'll share those at some point. So this is the Queensland Tenderfoot. This is going to be backwards for you, which is 75% 75% merino lamb's wool and 25% polyamide is what it says. In this, I don't know if this is going to show well, more the color up here. There's a lot of shadow down here, so it's a light gray, light heathered gray. It's called Cornerstone, the color. So that's the color that I've used for that. So that's just barely started, as you can see, still in the yoke, still doing the increases. Loving it. I did want to share with you a couple other things. I think that's it for actual projects that I'm working on. I'm just looking around, hence my head going in circles here. That's it for projects. I wanted to share a couple of things with you. I just read this book recently. I just actually finished it, called 4 Red Sweaters by Lucy Adlington. And I just wanted to recommend this because it's an incredibly well-researched, moving story, essentially about 4 young women that didn't know each other, that were victims of the Holocaust. And each of them at different points in their experience had a red sweater, whether made by themselves, knit by themselves, or others, or acquired elsewhere. Very moving book, and there's a lot of history here about the knitting in the knitting. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what I'm showing you, and I realize there's a lot of reflection here. There we go. 4 Red Sweaters. A lot of the history of knitters being needed during World War II, prisoners being used for knitting because it was so necessary, and it's just a incredible book. This woman is actually a researcher of fabric, textile, that's the word I'm looking for, of textile history. So an incredible read, and because it's about knitting, there's some very interesting information, new aspects that I had not read before, not learned before, and a very moving and poignant story. So highly recommend that book. Obviously, there's a lot of graphic details, so take care if that's something that's going to be concerning for you or of issue, because obviously it's difficult to read as well. Couple of other acquisitions, not other acquisitions, because that was a library book. I did get another ball of the woolies. I got the Lion Brand woolies in this color. This is a super bulky. Just got this yesterday in order to make more of those scarves. So this is what they actually call for. I thought this one would be fun because, I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of, there's flecks, some tweedy bits in this yarn. So I thought that might be fun. So that's to make more of those hug scarves. So I acquired that yesterday. And I have to tell you, 2025 has actually been a no-buy year for me. So I bought the yarn for this tee because I needed something for a special occasion coming up. But otherwise, I actually have purchased 2 skeins of yarn outside of what I bought for this all year. So that's a commitment I made in January, and I've actually upheld it until now. I wanted to get that woolies for some scarves, and I also, while I was at that store, which was Lens Mill store, if you know Lens Mill, you know Lens Mill. It's one of those, if you know, you know. It's a chain of, I think, 12 stores now in Southern Ontario. Len started it decades ago. It's very much committed to crafting. There are other products there now, but very much a commitment to crafting. There's a lot of economical yarns, economical needles, and quilting fabric, and all kinds of other fabrics. This is Gathering Yarn Homestead. I just wanted to try this out because it is 80% superwash merino, but 20% hemp. So I wanted to, this says Bison. This is the color Bison. And I also got the color New Jeans. So I just thought with the hemp in there, I wanted to give this a try. It's a sock weight. It's 400 meters per 100 grams. So I thought with the hemp in there, because I do knit so many socks, I wanted to give this a try and see how it holds up. I'm always kind of experimenting with different sock yarns because I knit so many socks, because I want to see how they hold up to hardware, because the socks I knit, both my husband and I wear them a lot. My husband wears them 365 days a year in work boots. So he is hard wearing on his socks. So I'm always experimenting on what will hold up to the abuse. The last thing I wanted to do is share with you is what I'd like to call hug a rug, and thought I'd share a rug with you every time we meet. So traditional rug hooking is a process of pulling loops through a backing. That backing traditionally was burlap sacks. When they were first, to reuse, the strips of cloth pulled through was old clothing from the household. So every last little bit and piece was used to then make rugs for the floor. The new good rugs would be put at the front door to welcome guests. As they wore and got more threadbare, they would be moved through the house, maybe towards the back, that sort of thing. So a really reuse, recycle mentality started the rug hooking tradition. And but these days, quite often people use new materials, though they may still use recycled materials. And a lot of times the rugs may be used for wall art rather than actually rugs on the floor. I do both. I have many of my rugs on the floors, but I also do have rugs on the wall. So I design a lot of my own pieces, but actually this design, I'm just gonna do this and roll up the wall there for you. This is a design by Deanne Fitzpatrick. And if you know rug hooking at all, you may have heard the name Deanne Fitzpatrick. She's a prolific and amazing designer in living and working in Nova Scotia. She's originally from Newfoundland. She's very prominent in the rug hooking world. So that's actually a Deanne Fitzpatrick design. I actually have very few pieces that I've done of other people's designs. Most of mine are of my own design, so I will share those going forward. So I'll stop there because that's getting a little bit long, maybe too boring to listen to all this time. I'm not sure. Please, if you at all have any positive feedback, let me know in the comments. If you have any input on anything I'm working on, I'd love to hear it. And if you at all feel inclined to do so, would love it if you could like and subscribe below, because I'm just trying to get my feet wet here and see if there's any interest in yet another knitting podcast in the world. And I'll continue to do this if you want to continue to listen, I guess. Thanks so much for being here, and appreciate you putting up with probably a lot of mistakes and a lot of pauses and difficult segues. Hopefully I'll improve as we do this a little bit more. Thanks. Have a great day and hope you get some knitting done.